Hey, hello, welcome. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to be cooking some good food, one of my personal favorites, a little bit of comfort food, some stuff that I kind of grew up with. So it is called Priew Wan, which is essentially, this version is a Thai sweet and sour chicken. So this is not a super authentic Thai recipe. It's pretty close, but the good thing is it's really easy to make. There's a few steps, but it's not hard, I promise. So I'll be making the sauce first, cutting some vegetables, and then frying everything up in the wok, which I love cooking in the wok. I recommend everybody try it. Some people seem intimidated by it, but it's really easy. I think the one I have actually came from like Bed Bath & Beyond. It wasn't crazy expensive and it's lasted years. You just have to maintain it well and you have to season it initially when you get it, and you can just find that out on any video online on how to do that, or some of them come with that information when you purchase the wok. So I am using chicken today. You can sub it with other proteins. You can use tofu if you want to go vegetarian, or you can just go strictly vegetables with the sauce and everything. The sauce does have fish sauce and oyster sauce in it as well. So anyway, let's get to it, and let's start with the sauce. So we are going to grab, and all this stuff can really be found now in the grocery department, anywhere in pretty much across America. You don't have to necessarily go to like an Asian grocery store for these ingredients, which is great. You can find them usually in the Asian section of your store. The only thing really complicated to find, or different I should say, would be again the fish sauce, the oyster sauce, and the soy sauce is common. I got some sriracha sugar there too. So well, actually, let me rewind, because I'm going to be doing this over rice, and there's different ways you can do it. If you want to be carb friendly, you can just omit that. You can do it over vegetable noodles, or I don't know, you can get creative with it. It's a really good sauce, and it kind of is good on its own. So I'm just doing a little bit here. I'm just doing a cup of rice. It's going to be a smaller portion, and this lovely ancient relic. It's a hand-me-down from my mom. My mom is Thai, so she's the one that influences this kind of cooking and stuff, and one of the reasons why I cook a lot of what I do. So yeah, it's an old national relic. I love rice cookers for rice. You can do them on the stove. People use Instant Pots and stuff, but I really think that if you eat rice a fair amount, that you should just get a rice cooker if you have the space for it. So I got 1 cup of jasmine rice, and to that I'm just gonna do 1.5 cups of water. Give it a quick stir, and these are great because you just hit the button and it just does its thing on its own, and you don't really have to worry about anything else. There's no guesswork or anything. So that'll do its thing over here. And typically, for that much, might take like 20 minutes or so. So it's not bad. Alright, so for the sauce, we're going to start with some soy sauce. Use regular light soy sauce here. And that's going to be about 1.5 tablespoons. So let's do that, and then just kind of eye the second one-ish there too. And then it says 1 teaspoon of sugar. She's regular sugar there too, and I go a little heavy on the scoop. Got a little bit more sweetness to it. So we got that sugar, and then like I said, we got fish sauce, oyster sauce as well. So you also do 1.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And this stuff can get pretty thick if you refrigerate it after opening. I would suggest like letting it go up to room temperature a little bit. I'm a monster. I don't refrigerate a lot of stuff. So if you ever come over to my house and eat, I guess be warned. Like sriracha and stuff like this, I just leave in the cabinet and just take my chances. It's been fine so far. But when you put them in the fridge, it gets really thick. So again, if you're doing that, just be aware of that, because it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of come up to room temperature, and it'll pour much easier there too. So, all right, and then we're going to hit it with about a tablespoon or so of sriracha for a little bit of heat. And then I have a 1/4 cup of pineapple juice. And this is just out of a can. You can use fresh squeezed too if you have that available. But I use pineapple in the stir fry, so I just buy the can of pineapple chunks in pineapple juice, so I can do like double duty off of that and grab the juice and the pineapple chunks. So, this is a 1/4 cup of ketchup as well. So a 1/4 cup of pineapple juice, a 1/4 cup of ketchup, and with everything else. And I will include all these measurements in the description, of course. So you give it a good whisk. Yeah, and I think that's it for the sauce. So I like to do the sauce first. So we kind of just sit there and let these ingredients blend, especially like the sugar dissolve and stuff. But it's really good. It's nice, sweet and spicy. It smells really awesome even from here. I mean, you could just put the sauce over a lot of different things, to be honest with you. So up next, I'm just gonna get some vegetables ready here. So these are the pineapple chunks that came out of the can. I got some green onion here, garlic, onion, tomato, and English cucumber, which I swear by these. They're awesome. If you actually look, like with regular cucumbers, I would recommend seeding them. There's a lot more water. Even though you can kind of see the seeds there, they're not as watery. It's just kind of a thicker, meatier cucumber, if you will. So I love these to death. I mean, I even eat them. Sometimes I'll kind of like partially skin them. Kind of do something like that. It's not like the prettiest cut. But honestly, like for today, I'm just going to leave most of the skin on. Like I said, I think these are really good. My favorite cucumbers by far. So I'm just going to cut little like kind of bite-sized chunks. If you notice, keeping everything kind of bite-sized. The chicken I cut is similar to this too. It's a rough cut. I use chicken thighs, and you'll see those before I put them in the fryer there. So just a rough cut on these two. Nothing too crazy here. Some green onion for garnish later. Kind of the last ingredients there, and then just crush the garlic out. You can use a garlic press or whatever, and again, just like a rough kind of chop of this too. So I'll just adding flavor, all kinds of good stuff there. Nothing super fancy. You don't have to be an advanced chef. Please just cook. That's how you learn. I taught myself. Just cook. Cook off of recipes, and then every time you cook, you'll get better. You'll learn what works and what doesn't work. Again, another rough cut with an onion here. It's the beauty of stir fry. You can really just kind of haphazardly throw everything around. I'm not a great baker because I don't really have the patience, but I'm good at pretty quick food or stuff that just might take more steps. But the actual cooking process for this is rapid. So I like a lot of onion. For a lot of this stuff, you can do like if you need more of a measurement, you can start with about half a cup. This will make I would say 2 large servings. 2 to 4, I mean, it just really depends on how big, how much rice you stretch it out with or whatever. But for this here is, it'll probably feed 2 people, and I'll have a little bit of leftovers. But these here are about half a cup of ingredients. So, I mean, really, again, you can modify it just adding more meat, more vegetables. You could even make a big portion, double down on the sauce if you wanted to as well. Now, for the tomatoes, either just Roma tomatoes, actually need to rinse them off real quick. So I do recommend for tomatoes that you de-seed them, because the seed is just, it turns into a bunch of liquidy mush. I'm sure there's probably a better way to do it. Some people just squeeze it out or whatever, but just essentially like this stuff right here, the tomato and all that stuff right there just needs to basically go away. So. Alright, so yeah, so again, it's just kind of meaty. You don't want it to be squishy and full of water. When it hits that hot pan, it will just basically get obliterated. So I actually put these tomatoes in a little bit later, but that's kind of what you're looking for there. They're going to be like meatier. They're not going to have a bunch of liquid in them. So it's almost like pitting them, you know, again, just taking the seeds out. This is actually a really good one. It was not very packed with seeds, or not like super juicy there. And I think, yeah, I'm going to do one more. This one is definitely more seedy or juicy. Oh, Drake. Alright, we'll let you chill over there now. Take a time out. Hit the medic. Alright. Left a little bit of seeds in there. Yeah, when you cut it too, it just like, the seeds get everywhere. So, try and smush some of that out there. And I'm just scooping the seeds into the trash can. Over there. Alright. And again, if you don't like tomato, don't put tomato in there. I have friends that don't like cucumbers. I have friends that don't like tomato. Sorry. So just, again, modify it how you want. This is how I do it. This is tried and true for me. So, alright, so we have our sauce. We've got the rice cooking. And now we have our ingredients chopped here. So again, we have tomato, English cucumber, pineapple, onion, garlic, and green onion. So next, I'm going to get the wok going, and we're going to cook all this good stuff up. Alright, so just heating up the wok on high heat. We're going to just let it heat all the way through. It's going to start smoking a little bit, and then I'm going to add a couple of actually probably a few tablespoons of oil to it, and it's about to start smoking now. We're going to deep fry real quick the chicken, and again, it's this is a little bit over a pound of chicken, boneless, skinless chicken thighs cut into bite-sized pieces, just rough cuts. Tossed in some cornstarch to get a little bit better texture on it when it's frying. So grab a couple things here. Get ready. You can see the wok is smoking, so we need to put some oil in that bad boy. The rice just popped too, so it's about 1, 2, 3. We're going to go a little heavy because I kind of want to do like a quick little fry there. Anytime you see the oil kind of sizzling too, shimmery looking, that's when you know it is hot. But you definitely want to add oil to the hot wok. Alright, cool. So that's going, it's looking pretty hot there. So we're going to add our chicken very carefully. I always recommend when you add something into the wok, drop it onto the side, the wall, let it slide in. Don't drop it straight in, just a pro tip there. So just going to slide on the side there. And grab hold of that. So get everything situated into the bottom here. But I mean, it probably only takes 5 to 7 minutes total for this chicken to cook through. And the good thing about the wok and using chicken thighs, there's a little bit higher fat content. So even if you let them go for quite a while, they're not going to really dry up. It takes a lot to really overcook chicken thighs, in my opinion. So that's why they're kind of my go-to for a lot of my stir-fry dishes. I do, pork traditionally for egg rolls, but a lot of the stuff in the wok, I find myself doing more chicken as opposed to like shrimp. Shrimp I usually do like in curries, or I like to grill shrimp. But yeah, in the wok I love chicken, specifically chicken thighs. So just gonna give these like another minute. They're looking good here. So after these cook through, I'll pull them. I'm just going to set them on a plate here. I have some paper towels down just so they can drain off some of this oil, so they're not too greasy, not kind of gross. And then I'll just put a little bit more oil in, and then we'll cook the vegetables. Those look pretty good. If need be, when you put everything back in the wok, potentially, cook it a little bit more if you feel something needs to be cooked more. But I think this looks good. So we're just going to pull this, and then set it out there, let it drain off. Try and get as many of those little chicken bits and stuff off so they don't burn when you have your vegetables in here next. So the great thing about the wok, you just kind of use it for everything. It's got the rice cooker going, and then aside from that, you don't really need multiple pots or anything like that. Alright, so taking that out, and what I have left looks like it's about a tablespoon or a little more oil. So I'm going to drop a bit more oil in. Remember, go from the side. There too. Alright, so next we're going to do vegetables. I save the green onion for later. Using the dish here. Because they go in last, kind of like a garnish. And I do the tomato last here because, again, it's the most delicate and it's going to break down. So I'm just going to add the pineapple, the cucumber, and the onion. You notice I'm keeping that garlic yet. A bit there, I'm not using it yet. Alright. So we're just going to stir fry these for a few minutes, just so they can get a little bit of a kind of cooking a char on them. And then like the onion and the cucumber will soften up a little bit too, which will be good. I really like the contrast with the kind of salty, sweet, savoriness of this dish. It's something that I ate when I was a kid. I didn't really know what it was specifically, and then I found myself, once I moved out of home, going to Thai restaurants and finding this on the menu and just kind of saying, oh, that's what that was. So I was able to kind of look up the recipe after that and consult my mom on some stuff there too. So again, just look in that there. Also, it's really nice, lots of bright colors. You got green from the cucumber, red from the tomato, yellow from the pineapple. The sauce is kind of a bright orangish color. I just think it's really pretty. Hit it with some green garnish. Really attractive. But again, you can put different things in here. So this is my tried and true favorite. And I think if you go to a Thai restaurant and you order the sweet and sour or pad Priew Wan, then it's going to be similar ingredients as well too. Another great thing too is, like I said, if you don't really want to add a lot of sriracha, it doesn't really have to be spicy at all. You can just make like I said, the sweet and sourish kind of flavors to it. But yeah, definitely like a little spice in mine, and you can always hit it with sriracha after. Still tastes good that way. So it's still staying really hot. The pineapple's getting a little charred, some of the onion is, but the cucumber's still a little tough, so I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer. Plus onions, when they heat up and break down, they get really sweet too, which I like. It's a quick cook on everything. A lot of this is just the time in this recipe is just really the prep work and stuff. So as you can see from the video, I did some of that ahead of time. Snuck in some pineapple bites, which I think I'm going to do now again because pineapple is awesome. Even on pizza. I said it. I know that's going to make some people mad. But that's fine. I would ask that if you don't like pineapple on pizza, that's totally okay. But you should really try pineapple in this dish because it works really well with everything. Alright, so it's getting pretty good there, so now I'm going to add the tomato. Oh, I think I lost one. Rip. There you go. Give that a toss. And it's really nice colors in there, as I mentioned. And I'm going to go rinse off my hands. And all that tomato juice while that's doing its thing. All right. So these are looking good, and like I said, I don't want to leave the tomato in too long. If you do that, it just completely turns into mush. So I got just a little bowl here. I'm going to use my trusty strainer spatula thingy. Actually, I think I went a little bit heavier on this. On the ingredients than I normally do. So I would say that this recipe, I think it's 1.2 pounds of the chicken and then, close to a pound or so of vegetable plus the rice. So we'll have leftovers here, which they hold up great for, about 4 or 5 days in the fridge. All right, cool. So that is cooked through. It looks really good. We got the chicken over here. So now, again, I have about 1 tablespoon of oil. I'm going to add a little bit more, probably just half or like a teaspoon or so. And then next, I'm going to throw in the garlic real quick because it's going to heat up real quick. And then we're going to do the sauce. So give the sauce a little stir, kind of help make everything break back up again. Going to do my garlic, boom. And give that a quick little stir. And oh my gosh, it smells amazing. All right, turn it down a little bit. All right, and then we end with the sauce. These little spatulas are great for getting all of it out. All right, so just gonna give this a quick toss, really quick, so that garlic's hitting the flavor of the sauce and adding more depth to it. And once that starts to bubble, we are gonna add everything back to it. So I like to do the chicken first, so it gets nice and coated. And again, you can use different proteins. Some crispy tofu in here is good. I've had that before. But I love chicken. It's cheap, it's easy, it's good. If you look at that right there, it's really nice. And again, I like to do the chicken first, so it really soaks in all that sauce. Let that go for just a second, and then pop the veggies back in, and give it a big stir. At this point, I'm just going to cut the heat because everything's cooked through. The burner's still hot. The wok is going to retain heat. I'm just going to drop my green onions in there and chop them about 1 inch thick or smaller. And it looks awesome. Beautiful colors, really nice. And my rice has been done too. So I'm gonna go grab the rice. All right, so that's it. Thai sweet and sour chicken, or pad Priew Wan. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. It was super easy. Again, go out there and cook, especially if you're stuck at home. So be safe, everybody. Thanks again. Bye.